Free speech seems to have come under attack again, and this time comedian Kunal Kamra seems to be bearing the brunt of it. Kunal Kamra's show was scheduled at the Maharaja Sayaji Rao University of Baroda, but it was cancelled after he was accused by certain ex-students of being anti-national. The students wrote to the Vice-Chancellor of the university, who took the call. Kunal found out about the cancellation online. In fact, Disha Shah is now joining us live to get us more on that. Disha, what's the official version that's been given by the university on why was his show cancelled?
Well, absolutely, Urvashi. This is yet another incident that we are seeing where a comedian, and he has got to know that the show that he was going to perform at MS University in Vadodara in Gujarat on August 11th has been cancelled, and there was no official word from the MS University concerned to him, and that he got to know through online. So this is what we got to know after he tweeted out saying that the show that was supposed to happen on 11th August got cancelled, and this is what he got to know, news from the media and not by the university in concern. And here, of course, there are a lot of reports that are right now at this point in time. The university, when we got in touch with them, there is no official word coming in, but of course in a letter that has been sent, of course, to cancel the permission of organizing an anti-national comedian show in university premises. So this was the letter that was sent to the organizing committee in concern of Kunal Kamra, is what we are given to understand. This is what the letter states, that what message do we want to convey by organizing such anti-national flag barrier youth comedians comedy show in Gujarat's most prestigious university campus. So for our viewers, MS University is one of the biggest universities in Gujarat, and the comedian was supposed to perform on 11th of August, but few students, the ex-students of the university, walked up to the principal and said that the messages and the shows that he does is anti-national and he should not be performing in the university. So after that, the principal took the call, and according to the university in concern, they said that verbally they have communicated that to Kunal Kamra for that matter. But of course, Kunal Kamra's tweet otherwise does not really say so that he has got any information from the university in concern. So of course, this is the case right now where there are a couple of people who are coming and saying that the shows that he does, the stand-up comedian shows that he does, is something that is anti-national and it should not be entertained, especially in the MS University concern. So to that, of course, Kunal Kamra has just put a tweet out. We obviously tried reaching out to him, but as of now, as we speak, we are unavailable. We have not got any response from him as of now.
Absolutely. This might be a sentiment and was expressed in a letter by a few former students to the principal, to the vice-chancellor of the university. But is it becoming of a university of such prestige, one of the prestigious universities of the state, to encourage such polarizing sentiments? Should the university have bowed down to such pressure? Disha, is the question.
Well, absolutely. Here, of course, the university in concern would have, should have really gone through the past records of the comedian here concerned, his past shows as well, as to whether his shows have been really anti-national or not. And just by a few, messages or words by few ex-students, it really took the university to take this call, and not, on top of that, not even inform the comedian about it, is something which is not at all acceptable here, Urvashi, because here we are talking about one of the famous and prestigious university here in concern, and the comedian as well. He has been doing shows for the past many years and he has made that name in the industry in concern. So if at all, if his shows were anti-national, so they could have got something before hiring him or before really appointing him to do this show in the university concern, but there were no such messages which were being circulated by the university or by the comedian as well. Here, of course, it is just word-to-mouth information, and that is what the university really took the call of. They should have really spoken to the comedian in concern, to the team of comedian, that these are certain messages that we have been really receiving from few section of the people. So is it something that is really happening on the ground level? But
Absolutely.
of course, that is not something, because he has done several shows in the past, Urvashi.
And this is yet another example of how freedom of speech is being muzzled. And what's most shocking and appalling here is that this is coming in from one of the most prestigious universities of the state. Disha, continue being with us. We are trying to get in more inputs here, more reactions on this development. Daniel Fernandez, a comedian, is in fact joining us on the phone line. Daniel, a very good afternoon, and thanks for speaking to Mirror Now. How often have you felt that your freedom of speech, your expression, and that's in a manner of humor, has been muzzled? This is, of course, a glaring example. But take us through more incidents as a personal experience if you've gone through something like this.
See, I'll be really honest with my brand of comedy. I have not faced as much issues as Kunal is facing right now. This particular outrage that is very common in the comedy industry happens when it is when the content in question revolves around the BJP. So when AIB got into trouble previously over a meme, and now it's Kunal. So if it's the BJP in question, and the thing is now we all know, the thing we should accept by now that we voted a fascist government into power. Okay, so we have to make our peace with that. This is fascism on all fronts now, and we have to deal with that. So the thing is, the outrage will happen. Any content with BJP, you will have problems. That's the underlying rule of doing comedy in this country.
Daniel, why do you think is the government so intolerant towards criticism, towards humor? And especially when it comes to humor, this is, should all of this content not be taken in lighter way? And why are we so serious? And as a government, why is the government so intolerant towards criticism? And when it comes to humor, when it comes to comedy, we have earlier as well in the past seen how these stand-up comedians, as you mentioned, the content is related to something critical pertaining to the government, is intolerant. Show cause notices have been sent, they have been questioned. Why is it so? Why do you think that such content can't be taken in a lighter vein, and why is, as a nation, be so serious?
Because the government is scared. It's as simple as that. One of the foundations of fascism is control, and you cannot control laughter, because laughter is an honest emotion, even if you don't like the person saying something funny. But funny is funny, and that's what scares the government. So they're trying to silence voices that can evoke laughter by doing things like this. It's as simple as that. The government's scared. They're not secure enough to take a joke about themselves. I mean, look at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in America. That is democracy, where the sitting president of America sits down and a comedian comes there and for half an hour roasts him. That is democracy. That is freedom of speech, not this illusion that we are trying to sell over here.
And of course, this is another glaring example of how freedom of speech is being muzzled, Daniel. But if we speak about this particular incident, Kunal Kamra was going to give up, in fact, to conduct a gig at one of the most prestigious universities of Gujarat, of this state. And this is appalling, because this is a call that's been taken in by the Vice Chancellor of the university. Instead of putting these sentiments aside, these sentiments are being encouraged. Such polarizing sentiments are being encouraged really by putting off the show. What do you have to say on that?
See, to be fair, at this stage, I will not go as hard at the university as I would hold the government itself responsible. Because think about this for a second. As a vice chancellor, the last thing he or she wants is trouble on campus. We have had this before, where people have come and threatened to disrupt shows. And if you look at what's happening in the country right now, somebody got lynched a couple of days ago and the cops let him die. So when it comes to law and order and anything that's in favor of the BJP, you know you're not going to win. So if people can be lynched left, right and center in this country without consequence, what is stopping a group of people from coming into a campus and disrupting an event over there? The government has been responsible repeatedly for encouraging. They have normalized the fringe. Today, it is normal. Even if you see the headlines
All
today,
right.
they have referred to the people who have protested as a motley group. Motley group? Are you kidding me? These guys are vandals. If you're going to threaten violence against people, you should be in prison, not roaming around the streets over here and then taking up other people's time and they were discussing this. You know what I'm saying? So the problem is bigger than the university. The problem is the ecosystem that exists today, where people can just stab someone, where you can just do anything you want to support your government. Stop worshipping politicians. They are humans. Start demanding better facilities. Petrol prices have gone up. Lynchings have not stopped. Demonetization has ruined everybody. But for some reason, we are so intent on just hating people. That's all we care about. We just want to vote a government
Right.
into power that allows us to hate. That's it. That's all this is.
All right. All right. Daniel, thanks for speaking to Mirror. Now, Daniel Fernandez there sharing his views, very strong views coming in there on this development where a comedian's gig that he was to perform at a leading institute in the state of Gujarat was cancelled because certain former students had complained to the Vice Chancellor of him being anti-national. We'll continue tracking the story.